Okay, what if I told you the secret to beating procrastination wasn't some huge life overhaul, but a super simple 10-minute rule? We're going to break down this really powerful technique that, honestly, unlocks your brain's most stubborn resistance. It's like a key that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time.
All right, first things first, let's get one thing straight. If you procrastinate, you are not lazy. Seriously. This isn't some character flaw or you failing at something. Just think of it like your brain getting stuck in freeze mode. It's just a temporary psychological thing, not who you are as a person. So let's just agree to drop the guilt right now, okay? And start looking at the wiring, not the willpower.
Okay, let's dive into a feeling I think we all know way too well. We're going to call it the mountain of later. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that one task on your list that just feels so big, so daunting, that you just can't bring yourself to start it. So it starts with the task just sitting there. And in your head, it feels absolutely huge, right? It's not just a report you have to write. Suddenly, it's this giant monument to everything you have to get done. And that sheer size of it, that's the very first wall your brain throws up. And with every hour that ticks by that you don't start, it just gets heavier. You can feel it. That psychological weight just grows and grows, pressing down on you. It's the weight of expectations, of deadlines, of what you want to achieve. And that weight is what makes starting feel, well, impossible. So it just sits there, looming, and you tell yourself, okay, I'll start soon. But soon turns into later, and later turns into tomorrow. And before you know it, you're stuck in this cycle of guilt where the mountain just gets bigger and your confidence gets smaller. That's the cycle we absolutely have to break. But what is really going on inside our heads when this happens? Well, it turns out the real fight isn't with the task itself. Nope. It's with what feels like a heavy, locked door right inside our own mind. And here it is. This is the curt truth of it all. Your brain actually has no problem with hard work. Once it gets going, it's built for it. The real fear, the real resistance is all packed into that one single moment, the act of starting. That first minute, that's the entire battle right there. And yeah, there's a name for this. Psychologists call it the activation barrier. And I want you to think of it exactly like that. A heavy, stubborn, locked door. It's all that mental friction you have to push through just to get started. Once you crack that door open, momentum can take over. But man, getting it to budge, that's the whole challenge. See, this is where our brain kind of plays a trick on us. We think the battle is conquering the entire project, climbing the whole mountain at once. But the real battle, the only one that actually matters, it's just that first minute. If you can win that first minute, you've pretty much won the day. Okay, so we've identified the problem, right? This locked door. Now, let's talk about the key. And the solution is, you're going to love this. It's shockingly simple. It's elegant. And it is built to specifically target that activation barrier. Here it is. The whole system, the entire key, it all comes down to this one number, 10. And look, this isn't just some random number pulled out of thin air. It's a strategically chosen amount of time. It's designed to be completely 100% non-threatening to your brain. And the process? It really couldn't be any simpler. Step 1, pick that task. Yeah, the one you've been avoiding. Step 2, set a timer for exactly 10 minutes. And step 3, give yourself just one instruction. Just begin. That's it. No pressure to do it perfectly. No need to finish it. Just start.
So you might be wondering, why does this simple little trick work so well on our super complex brains? Well, it all comes down to one word: momentum. It is all about just getting the engine started.
I want you to think of your brain like a car engine on a really cold morning. It's sluggish, it's resistant at first. Well, those first 10 minutes, that's the warm-up. Once the engine is running, it wants to keep running. You know the old saying, an object in motion stays in motion? It applies to your mind just as much. So what's really happening in those 10 minutes? Well, that promise of a quick exit, of being able to stop, it just melts your resistance. It creates just enough momentum to get you over the hump. You're basically tricking your procrastination instinct because your brain sees a clear finish line. All of a sudden, the task feels safe, it feels manageable, and that's often the perfect way to accidentally slip into that amazing state of flow without even trying.
Okay, this is probably my favorite part of this whole technique. Because what happens when the timer finally goes off? This is where you realize it's a completely no-fail system. You literally cannot lose. There are 2 ways to win.
So the timer rings. Your 10 minutes are up. You did it. You did what you promised yourself you would do. Now you get to make a choice. And I promise you, both options are a victory. Here are your 2 winning options. Option 1, you stop. And you stop proudly.
You get to walk away knowing you beat that activation barrier today. That is a massive win. Option 2, the engine's warm, you've kind of found your rhythm, and you just keep going. You ride that wave of momentum. That is also a huge win. See? You literally can't lose.
But the real prize here isn't just about the 10 minutes of work you got done. It goes so much deeper than that. It's about your identity. Every single time you do this, whether you stop or you keep going, you're sending a powerful message to your brain. You're giving it hard proof that you're not a procrastinator. You're someone who can start. You are literally rewiring how you see yourself. So how does this scale up? I mean, we've seen how it works in the moment, but let's kind of zoom out and look at the incredible long-term impact of making this a regular habit. The real key is to make this a ritual, a habit, something you do almost without thinking, just like brushing your teeth. When your brain learns this new pattern that tricky tasks always start with a safe 10-minute window, it just stops fighting you so much. And that locked door, it gets easier and easier to open every single time. And this really brings us full circle. Remember that huge looming mountain we talked about at the beginning? Well, this is how you climb it. Not by trying to jump straight to the top in one go, but by focusing on one tiny step, and then another. Those 10-minute chunks, those are your steps. That's how small starts build massive futures. So really, the only thing left to ask is this. What door will you unlock today? What task on your list, what mountain on your horizon are you going to open up with this simple 10-minute key?